I think it's quite funny that we talk about biathlon because I remember Mika saying biathlon is not even a real sport.
Yeah. But
Serious problems.
right, Mika, what's your serious problem, mate?
Yo, what's my scariest problem? My scariest problem is that we're back from the break. We haven't really put in so much effort since falling into doing a podcast. We had some people on the go, and then either you or me were like, mostly me, were like, oh, CVA.
I'm gonna go to Sri Lanka instead. But actually, mate, that's not the scariest problem. That's like a good thing. A scariest problem is that we're almost start of May now, and we're gonna have to fucking train again.
Oh, it's a bit shit. I tell you what, I haven't really been doing so much since the end of fall, like since the end of the World Cup. I got a bit sick after, and then, or not even like really sick, just I was fucking tired, and my body didn't work so well anymore, so I just gave it some rest. And then last week I hopped on a scale, and I was like, oh, that's not a very nice sight. I was like, I think 6 kilos overweight again. I haven't really been training, and then I just started doing some sessions this week, and it just felt like absolute horseshit.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
we had kind of like completely different springs, didn't we? Like you decided to go to the sunshine and get like do as little training as possible, and I decided like an idiot to do some fucking races and ski as much as I could. And it sounded like a great idea in the middle of the winter when I was still motivated, but then when I actually had to do it in April, it was absolutely horrific.
I was just sitting on the beach and like looking at some people that were doing Jantelopet, and I was looking on Strava in the comments that people made about it. It just looked like to me like everybody was hating life there, and everybody was like, oh, it's actually not fun at all to ski like 100k in mid of April in a double poling race. And I was just sitting on the beach enjoying life and just loading up the batteries to start like at 100% again. And now you're just like fucking overtrained at the end of April.
Yeah, it was. But the thing is, it was like great for 2 laps, but then it was just like so fucking hot, and like you were double poling. And Alvar said he didn't even have like big tips on his poles, and he like 2 times he said his hand touched the snow because his pole just went like all the way through.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was absolutely wild.
That sounds so shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back now on the podcast.
Yeah.
And out of off season, starting to train again. Also back on trying to get out regular podcasts. I feel like this winter we have basically just covered World Cup and have athletes on or people on our podcast that were kind of in the spotlight and kind of on television every week anyway. I mean, we had Pulse on as well, which was freaking cool. But we got a bit of a different plan for, maybe not the whole summer, but at least like the upcoming period. Maybe tell people a bit about it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and not interview just cross-country skiing athletes, interview some other athletes, interview some people that are in the sport but not racing. So we've got quite a few plans, and I think it should be quite exciting for season 2.
Season 2, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Remember last year when I was like, all right, Jimmy, come on, fuck off now. We'll just do a pod and then we'll release it, and either people like it or not. And they just seem to not hate it so much.
Yeah, I like the idea, but I didn't think it was going to work. But it did work. So now we're committed, so we have to continue and do it.
One thing we did do in off-season is we did pack a lot of packages that we sold at the auction. Thanks, everybody, for joining the auction. We're going to meet with our ski clubs quite soon. I guess you're going to France soon. I'm going to Austria in June again. And then, we're definitely going to make some kind of post or happening out of giving the money and giving the checks to our ski clubs. They'll be super happy about that. Also, we're working still on shipping out all the stuff, which is not so easy because we're in Norway and we got shipments going to Malta, shipments going to USA, Canada. So basically, like everywhere but Norway.
Yeah. I think we got only one order from Norway. But this is so typical. Like Americans, they just love these fundraising things.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. It's like
It's so
really in the American culture. And like maybe 90% of the people that participate in the auction were Americans.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. So, but if you're still out there waiting for a package, it should be on the way. There's a couple packs we haven't sent out yet because we didn't get back the signed stuff yet. Like, for example, a drink belt. But it's all, in progress, and you should get your auction stuff pretty soon, I'd say.
Yeah.
Should we introduce our guest of today?
Yes, we definitely should. Right. You know him better, so maybe it's...
Yeah, we were thinking like all season we've had people on that were kind of like the stories of when things go well and when things go according to plan. And I've got a friend here in Lillehammer this week visiting me, who's a super good skier. Has been struggling a bit in his early years of his career. Got Epstein-Barr, got a bit fucked after that. Made his way back. Had even a semi-final in sprint last year in Tallinn. A couple top 20 results, and then went on a major smell this summer or this autumn. Welcome to the podcast, Lukas Mrkonjic.
Yo, what's up? It's actually quite weird for me to speak and hear myself through the headphones. So, I mean, you guys are used to it, but for me, like, it's fucking weird.
This is like Mika gets orgasms from this, just hearing his own voice. He just fucking loves it.
It's quite big.
Sure. Yeah. But I know that I don't have to speak too much because this guy is talking anyways. And yeah, I have a little bit of a microphone phobia, I would say.
No, you
I don't like it at all. Like every
you like to be in the spotlight, man.
But every TV interview I gave is like, I don't know, I was acting like a weirdo. So.
But it's absolutely wild because Lukas is like one of the most like self-conscious guys I know. He's just like there, and like he has like this whole aura around him of like, look, I'm here and I'm the man, and then he just comes in front of a microphone or in front of a camera and he just shrinks by like 15 centimeters and just act like this nice little schoolboy.
Yeah, it's true. It's also when you make start a video and you make a video of me, like I don't know how to act anymore. It's so weird.
What's good is that you really had a choice as well to join the podcast. It was like, oh, you're staying in my home, you have to be on the podcast, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you just have to force people into their luck.
Yeah. I mean, slavery still exists, so.
Yeah. Right. Give us a bit of a run through kind of like what happened to you and how you like mentally managed to cope with it and
or
so
where
on.
are you now? Start by that. Where are you now? What's the status?
In Lillehammer, doing a podcast. No, but the status, like, I'm back at zero, I would say. I'm like semi-healthy. I'm like semi-stable. So I could like start training already. But that's like a huge step that I can even go skiing every day. But yeah, how it started, I think is a good topic because I'm pretty sure that a lot of athletes struggle from that kind of thing, and like, but it don't have that whole knowledge about it, or nobody really speaks about it because you just say, yeah, he's like overtrained or sick, and like a lot of athletes don't know what happened to them, I guess.
Maybe go a bit more into the matter there. Like you say overtrained, but people hear like, oh, that guy's overtrained, that dude's overtrained, oh, he fucked himself in training. But like,
yeah,
what do you feel like?
I have to start and to giving a bit of context here. Like this whole thing started like after last season, or like a year ago, pretty much. I had like a decent season.
Oh, it's your best season.
My best
yet,
season,
by far.
yeah. It was like my first World Cup season as well, and like my best result was a 12th place. And then I set a goal in my head that next year I'm gonna win a World Cup, and like I thought I have to like train like a complete maniac then, like give 110% every session and train like more than I ever did. And I did it a bit like brainless, I would say. I was just going for it every time, and like didn't like at the end I didn't really eat enough to how I say it, to like
to keep up like the
to keep
system,
up,
to keep
yeah.
it running,
and
to be able to keep the energy in the system.
yeah. And then like August I was getting sick the first time, and then things started. I was starting way too early because I got stressed. I thought, yeah, I'm not gonna win a World Cup if I'm like another week out. And then I like some symptoms came. For example, I couldn't sleep anymore, and I was training still like a lot, but in the nights I couldn't recover. And this was like, I would say, until November. Then it was always going back and forth. I didn't do really much progress of like training wise, and everything went backwards more or less. But I still did a lot of effort. Like I still thought I would make it this year. And yeah, then I think I was racing in Ruka. I was like 76 or something in the sprint. So that was crazy. And yeah, and then the first time I was thinking what the fuck I did all summer. Like, why am I where I am? And then after that as well, I was like getting some virus. I was out for 2 weeks, and after that 2 weeks I was never healthy again. Like I would say for 2 months, to like December and January, I was out completely. I was completely fucked. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't really move because everything was so hard. And yeah, so I was not training. I was just I searched a lot of doctors, but yeah, never. It was never any like diagnose, and that's the hard thing if you don't know what you have. But it took a while, and then I was like realizing what happened, or analyzing why all of that shit happened. And I was actually talking to Trond Nystad like a month ago, and he had like a good name for that shit. And he's like, he said, non-functional athlete. When you're just not functioning, nothing works. Like your body doesn't work, but you don't know why it's happening. And
But did you during the summer? Was there like a point where you're like, "Oh, I'm fucked now"? Like, there's a big problem, or were you always kind of like, "Oh, I'm almost healthy, almost good," and like continuing training again and again and again? Or was there really a point where you're like, "Oh, I'm absolutely screwed now"?
I think there was a point that I realized that I was fucked and I was not there where I should be, but I tried to like ignore it, and just I thought, yeah, it's super hard to go training every day, and it wasn't feeling good or something. It was like every day was just fighting, but I thought I have to do it and it will work
Muscle
at the
through
end.
sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, but like, in fact, it's the worst thing you can do, because you're not getting better of it. And you lose like the main thing, like the main mindset you need to have is you just go training because you want to get better. And at that point, I was just going training because I couldn't like make it out with my mind, or with myself, that I don't go training.
It was
Because
like
I remember this point. We were rooming together at the Blink,
Yeah.
and was that first weekend of August or something? And then we both got sick after the what's it called, after the long distance race. Like I remember laying in bed, being like, "Oh shit, I think I've got an itch in my throat," but I wasn't sure. I was like, "Oh, I think I might get sick now," and then. It's the best thing when you're just rooming with somebody and you're just like, oh, I really should tell him tomorrow morning because, like, obviously I'm going to have to move out of the room. And this was like maybe at 12 and the night, maybe at 1. And I still couldn't sleep. And then, like, somewhere around like 2 or 3, I noticed that Mirko was just turning around in his bed all of the time. And then I noticed he was going to the toilet at some point, and I just heard him cough, and I was like, oh, thank God I don't have to leave my room because he's sick as well. But then, I just kind of took a break for like a week or something after that, and we came back, no problem. Like I felt a bit shit for 2 or 3 weeks. And then we went to the training camp in, what's it called? Ischgl, i Karlsruhe. And you just look like horse shit there. You just like had these like big eye rings and you're moving so slow. And then you were just still complaining about like the cold. And I was like, oh, it can't be the cold. Like I've had the same thing as you. And it's like, took me a week. But I think that's the difference on like when you have somebody with a body that's responding and a body that's not responding anymore, is you just don't recover from the stuff anymore. Or like, how's your point of view on that?
Yeah, exactly. I think the same. Is actually that point of time that Mika just explained, that we realized that he was taking like all the right decisions and had a great year, and I was taking from that point all decisions like in the wrong way. So I didn't have that great of a year.
yeah.
But you're right. I think at that point, like your body is so how I say it, like fatigued. Yeah, it's good. That is just not responding to nothing. So I think at that point I would have needed like 2 weeks to go to on the beach somewhere and just chill, do nothing. But like no one could have how I say that, like I suddenly forgot how to speak English. Nah, I think no one could have
Foretold.
told me that you have to go to lay on the beach for 2 weeks, because in my mind it was like you start training again, doesn't matter if you are feeling good or not. And it was just
Such a standard thing as well. Like I know so many people, like typically like Muzzy or Youngie or even me, that like you get sick and then you're like, fuck, I've missed like a week of training, now I need to like smash a ton of training, and then you go like way too hard and then you just get fucked. Like it's so many people have done that. Or even if you don't get fucked, you just like take ages to like.
But I feel there's a big difference in gradients of how you do it. Like if you just, I did that last year as well, or not last year, but the year before that as well. And then I went a bit on the smell, and but I just was lucky that I had people around me that kind of opened my eyes, because they weren't attached emotionally as much as I was, and that we could still like be ahead of the point where Lukas was at that time, because I think you got like the starting point where you feel like, okay, my body isn't responding as it should be responding. I had a cold, which is, everybody gets a cold every now and then, but I just don't get healthy again. And then that's where it starts to take like the big downhill, when you just keep on working into it and you just keep on digging. And at some point, the hole you dug is just so deep that there's just no way of getting out anymore. And then we come to Ruka, and me and Mirko are always rooming together. And Ruka, we're in the room together, and he was already like so negative. You were so negative when we came there. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, this is not how I know you. But like, obviously I wasn't thinking that the hole you dug yourself is so deep than it was. That if I look on your situation with a bit of distance, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it kind of looked like you were in a burnout after Ruka.
Yeah, I think that's it's accurate, because I think that is the thing that nobody sees then from the outside, and you don't know how it is if you never like experience that, but you really lose control of your own like body and your own mind. Like as Mika just said, I was just extremely negative about everything. And it's like you are, it's weird, but you are like not the person you are normally, right? Because I don't know, I think that just the body doesn't function like he should. And the worst part is like the same thing starts to happen with your mind. And I was indeed, I think, burned out then because of this. And that's actually the worst part of all of that, is not that you can't train anymore or you can race, but the worst is like these 2 or 3 months that I was just chilling at home, basically, because I couldn't do nothing. And like, let's compare it with a drug addict that you suddenly you don't give
the
drugs to him,
Yeah.
and you're just like without the thing that normally takes 90% of your life, and you just don't have that anymore. So you're basically, I don't know, an empty person, and you forget like almost your life purpose. So in mentally, I think is the biggest the biggest
Hurdle.
challenge I had, because you get fucking depressed and you're just like hanging around. You cannot do nothing really. But and you think like this in that state of mind, you're so negative, and you think like, fucking hell, I will never come out of that.
Yeah.
Like you cannot imagine to even be better again. But like actually after all of that, I think I think about it like it wasn't that bad, but in the moment is like the worst thing in the world for you.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if I can give you an example, but if you're getting up in the morning and like I get up, I feel extremely shit because I didn't sleep all the night, basically.
What do we have to, you say you didn't sleep, what do we have to think when you say you didn't sleep?
Yeah, just I didn't like I'm extremely tired all day, and then I go to bed, and I'm extremely awake suddenly, and my mind is working all the time. And I was sleeping like maybe 3 hours a night. The rest I was laying there awake. And then you get up in the morning, and you're really stressed because like you think, oh fucking hell, another night that I didn't sleep, right? So I will not get better this day again. I'm not able to do something because I'm so tired. And then you get up, like you need a long time to get up because you don't really have a purpose to get up, because you cannot do anything this day anyways. And then you get up, and I look myself in the mirror, and my eyes are fucking swollen. And then like this is maybe the first 5 minutes of the day, and you have like 10 negative things already. And then the day goes on, and it's just like a downward spiral, you know. But eventually the body got better after a few months.
Was it the body or was it the mind?
Both. It comes like in a package, I would say. But like, I think it started when the body was healing up a bit. And then, you start to do things like a normal person. You start to have a normal life. and then your mind like heals as well. But it's a long process, and I think I want to say that quick because I think there is quite some athletes that suffer of that kind of problems, and
Yeah.
maybe it helps like if someone hears that they are not the only ones who have that, because I think there is quite a lot of athletes that are suffering of that, and they think they are like the only ones because it's not really spoken a lot about it.
It's a bit unreal to like hear you talk about it, because everybody that knows Mirko is like, Mirko's always like this guy, oh, depression doesn't exist. It's like a thing in your mind, and it's just like you just get up and do your thing, and then you experience yourself that kind of like deep shit where you don't see the purpose of anything anymore, because it's like no joke. Like he is just saying, it was just all this time. It was like so long that you didn't do anything. I remember being in Ramsau in January and visiting you. Came in and you're just like sitting on the couch, not really doing anything, and have these big rings under your eyes. And it's just like, oh, what have you done today? Nothing. What are you going to do today then? Nothing. And it's just insane how quick these things actually start to like work without you noticing it, really.
Yeah. And because, as I said before, at some point you lose control of your mind and of your life, basically, and everything is in a downward spiral. Like, and you don't know how to stop it.
How long you is it fair to say that like coming home from Ruka was like the start of like a depression?
Yeah, I would say.
And how long did it take for you to get to a point where you're like, right, I've got I've hit rock bottom, now it's gonna be better?
I think,
or is there not such thing to say?
There is. I think at the end of February was the first moment where I really like was letting go of the thought that I still raced that season, which is kind of weird because afterwards, I would say like after Rooker, it was clear that I will not race all the season. But in my mind, like I was so closed in my mind that I didn't even realize that I will not race that season. And at that point, when I let like that thought go, I think it was from that point on, it was turning around a bit, because then you like accept it and you say, yeah, I will sit it out and I will do something every day to get better. And at the beginning is super hard because where you start, what you do. But it was like simple things. Like I was going for a walk every day, which is super weird because I felt like, what the fuck? I was scared that someone sees me going for a walk every day. Like I was ashamed of that shit. But it was actually helping because our bodies are basically made to move.
Yeah.
And if you don't move, you obviously don't, like, you're not functioning as you should. So that was the first thing that I was doing to get better. And then like it was super hard the first month, but it was slowly getting better.
What do you think would be like the one advice you would give to yourself after Ruka? Like if you, let's say you finish the race in Ruka and you're like, fuck, that is not at all the level where I want to be. What would be the advice now that you would give to yourself then?
But fuck, I think like in Ruka it was already too late. I think there is no good advice that you can give someone who is in that situation already, because it was already like months too late. But if I have to give an advice, like, yeah, I would say let go of the situation, because I was so focused to just come back again, start training again. I need to and then I was looking on Training Peaks. I lost 5 fitness points, and I was stressing around, but these kind of things hold you back from really doing the right thing. And you feel you need to start training a day earlier and a day earlier, but it's not like that. First of all, you need to be healthy and you need to be functioning. And at that point, as I said, I didn't sleep already. So I would say, first of all, I needed to get my sleep under control.
But that's a hard thing to do.
That's a super hard thing to do, because every day when you go to bed, you are stressed basically, because you are scared of that you don't sleep another night, And yeah, I mean, if it's like that already, I don't really know how to conquer that. But
did you talk to anybody, or what was that like?
I did talk to some doctors, and they wanted to give me some pills, but I refused to take it, to be honest, because I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I was taking a pill just to sleep. I wanted to fix the main problem, because how I say it,
taking pills is like fixing symptoms but not fixing the problem.
Exactly. And I was thinking about, I don't care about the symptoms, but I want to fix the main problem. But yeah, it's a complex thing, because I think at that point when you don't sleep, it's your body is overstressed, so he doesn't know when to calm down. And at the same point, your mind is you're not in control of your mind, so you are not able to calm yourself down. I think these two factors are holding you back. But yeah, as he said, it's a fucking hard thing to do, to get control of all these things.
Yeah.
But then when you're because now we're at the symptoms, this is where this is past the point of basically no return.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you look back on let's say September 2023.
Yeah.
It's you've got a bit of a cold, didn't really feel so good anymore after. But then at the same time on the training camp in Galtura, it didn't look like you were insanely shit or insanely insecure about stuff. You still were I'm confident in doing looking back on that kind of situations. Was it just one mistake you made, or was it multiple different mistakes? Or maybe even also an athlete never works alone. You've got coaches around you, which is very important. They also didn't say anything, did they?
No, that's also a big factor, because normally when you start to have problems as an athlete and you make a few wrong decisions, you basically lose control of the situation. You don't see it anymore because you want to push through it. And at that point, you need your coaches to tell you, stop that and fix the problems first and then continue with training. But yeah, that didn't happen in my situation. I mean, I don't want to blame anyone else for that, because I'm a guy who is just thinking about what I did wrong, and I'm self-accountable for that. But yeah, it would help to have coaches that actually tell me what's going on from the outside, because from the outside it was clear I was not in a good state, because if you just look my face, it was looking shit.
But is that just not normal though?
He's a very handsome guy.
Nah, I'm pretty ugly actually.
No, you're not.
But yeah, but if I have to give an advice to myself in, let's say, September, because you said it, where it was already pretty far into that like downward spiral, I would say the best thing to do is to go out and take 2 weeks off of training. You can move a little bit, but of training, and just go completely out of your bubble, like experience life somehow. Whatever you want to do, just do it, because like you are in that skiing world, in that like training bubble, and you're just a bit how is that called, like closed in, and you don't really like you don't see something from the outside.
It's just super emotional because you're insanely attached to it as well.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, I think you need to just change a bit your surroundings and experience some different parts of life for about 2 weeks, and this is giving so much like new wind for your mind, basically, and also for your body at that point, because like you're loosening up a bit, and I think that would have helped, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Right, so that's all that's happened, and then now you're at 0, you say. September 2024, where are you going to be at? Like, what's the plan? Did you change major things? Are you going to change major things? Like, how are you going to prevent this from happening again?
So the first thing, the major thing I would say that I change is that I take the responsibility for my like training decisions, whatever. I take it all by myself, because last year I was like kind of giving that responsibility away to coaches and just train blindly, basically. And yeah, now I will take it in my own hands, and I will also never give it away again, because that just doesn't work for me. So yeah, I think that's a main part that will fix all of that, because I have to actually think about the things I do, and
make conscious decisions.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of preventing it.
This is like definitely the deepest we've ever gone in the podcast, Jamie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we didn't do so much talking. It was just Lukas sharing his story. I think it's pretty interesting, and I do think it happens to a lot of skiers.
Definitely,
I know there's another Czech skier that kind of has the same story as you, and yeah, it's
not only skiers.
Yeah, I mean, endurance sports in general, anything in life, to be honest. But
I feel like with teams, if you just listen to the story that Lukas just explained, where you like give away the responsibility to coaches and stuff, and be like, oh, I'm this blind athlete, I'll just do what I'm told because people will think what's the best for me. I think that's a bit of maybe of a culture problem in sports, especially endurance sports that are like tied to federations and nations. Let's compare it with cycling. Let's say you're, the hell do I know, Chris Froome. You're like 3 times at the time, 3 times or 4 times winner of the Tour de France. You go to a different team. You give basically away all the coaching to like another team. You're worth like, I don't know how many millions. And then like a couple years after, giving away all that responsibility to someone else, you're just worth like half of your price. You haven't really done anything. And it's still the athlete that gets the blame, when it's like not the staff behind it. Where I'm like, very often, I think a lot of athletes are just very easy in giving away responsibility to other people and to outsource the responsibility. Yeah. But then when things go good, it's always federations coaches that did it. It's always like team coaches that did it. It's not the athlete that did it then. Yeah. But when it goes bad, it's definitely the athlete that did it and not the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of coaches that train one way their whole team,
Yeah.
and I think quite often you see when a coach joins a team, some athletes become really good and some become really shit. And I think a lot of coaches just train the one team in a certain way without looking at each individual athlete. Okay, everyone responds differently, and I think that's kind of what you're saying is, yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And at the end of the day, the people that works, thanks to the coach, but the people that doesn't work, then they did a shit job, or
It's just
they
so
weren't
many.
honest with themselves and they were tired and stuff
It's
like
like cool that you, Mrkonjic, for example, say, all right, I'm going to take back responsibility. I'm going to try to turn this whole thing around. But I think it's so many athletes actually that 99% of like the people watching sports have never heard of that, but that were super talented because of stuff like this, where it just like gave away responsibility, lost their way somewhere along in the process, and just never achieved anything, just never made it to anything. And I think also that a lot of good athletes, maybe not the best athletes, I think like all the very, very, very best athletes, they all have like something to themselves that is just like, I don't know what Klæbo does different, but it's just different. I don't know what Johannes Tingnesbø does different, but the guy posts a picture on Instagram last year that does his first roller skiing session in like August, and then wins the first race with like a bloody minute ahead of number 2 or
Yeah.
something. It's like, I think the very best, they're just different.
Yeah, but
But the big majority of like good or not so good athletes are quite often just a product of the systems that they grew up in, or the system they changed to.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't really understand what you meant there.
yeah. Maybe I'm talking past myself now.
No, but I kind of like agree that there's a lot of people like, Johannes Klæbo and Johannes Tingnesbø, two good examples. They're like so talented that, whatever they train, they're like, okay, they do have to train hard and they are extremely good athletes, but like they're most likely going to be good whatever training they do. But other people, you really have to find the training that works for you, not do it too much, not do it too little. And I think actually it's funny when you're talking about you felt a bit like an empty shell when skiing wasn't in your life anymore. It just reminded me a bit of Marcel Hirscher.
Yeah, the guy doing a bloody comeback at 35 for the Netherlands. What the hell?
I think like especially like the top athletes in every sport that are dominating, they have to have like some, like, I would say they are psychos, because they are like 1,000% committed to the sport they do, and this takes all their life and they give everything for that. And like that's how you become the best, I think, in something. But it's extremely hard to do that, and he was one of them, I think. And after he stopped skiing, like I remember he was starting to do a lot of like enduro riding.
Yeah, motocross riding.
Motocross
Dirt bike
riding, yeah.
riding.
Then he broke his leg doing that. So I think like he had some existential crisis. And
Could
then
be.
I
Left the wife, left the child.
yeah, and then now he wanted to start skiing again. But I also think it's like the majority of that decision is like to promote his skiing brand.
Could be, but I've
That
actually
is a big move.
I've actually listened to a podcast of our friend of the show, Pölsa, the other day, where he said something about these best athletes. It's like, on one hand, yes, they might be like slightly psychos or
Yeah,
just
different.
obsessed.
Yeah, that's
But
a good
also
word.
one thing, if you look at how Klæbo is skiing in a race, like obviously if you're that good, it's easy to look like that. But Klæbo, Tingnesbø, even Marcel Hirscher, it's like they're also like the most playful in what they do. It's like I actually feel for them it's a game.
Yeah.
So it could be obsession, could also be that they actually really want to win, but they want to win the game and they just play like, maybe they're not obsessed, maybe they're just,
Yeah, I think they don't play the game to win. They play the game because they love it. Like they love the game. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think that might actually be it. Like, they love to win,
Probably.
obviously, but
Yeah, but winning
maybe
is
they
just a product.
yeah, maybe they love the game even more than
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're obsessed with something, you need to love it 100% because otherwise I think you will like burn out of that, like me.
But like, even if you look at let's say Tingasbø, if it's about winning, if it's purely about winning, like continuing doing biathlon is just a losing game for him, because there's no level he could be at that be any better than what he's achieved already. So like, it can only go downwards. Maybe he'll be able to keep up. He's able to keep up the level for like another year or two, maybe another year or three. But there's not like he can't win from the level he's now at. He can't reach a higher level anymore in terms of like winning races. Also, if you look at Klæbo, maybe he can actually, because he actually is a world champion on a 50K, but he's not. So maybe he wants to be that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's about that for them. I think it's because for us, obviously, they can always do better. Then we always aim to do better. But I don't know. I agree. I don't think it's like that for them. I think it's more about
The game.
yeah, and it's also like maybe this is a bit cynical, but it's also just like a job and
Pays good.
it pays good, and like you have like yeah, if you want to make your business well, then you have to continue training well and making all the little gains to make your business as profitable as possible.
Yeah. Interesting viewpoint.
I think it's quite funny that we talk about biathlon because I remember Mika saying biathlon is not even a real sport.
Yeah. But what about Hirscher? Is he going to win, you reckon?
The thing is, I don't know.
It could be.
Like, I really want to say no, because I just think if somebody's retired for like 2 years, all right. But like, the guy's been retired for, is it 5 years? And I think 2019 and it's 24 now. So like, he's been retired for like 5 years. So I think no.
I think
But it's also Marcel Hirscher.
if he is not doing it purely because of like
The brand.
then I think he's gonna win 100%, at least a race, because he's not that old, and he
35 only.
He looks super fit.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
think-
been doing all sorts of like skiing.
Apparently, from what I've heard from some Austrians and read in some media, that he's been kind of crushing like most of the Austrian team on trainings.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure this guy, like, you don't lose the ability to ski, I think.
Tell you another comeback that nobody wants it to happen is Johaug.
Yeah,
She absolutely smashed everyone on the 50K here in Lillehammer.
it's unreal.
Astrid Slind
you
was
should-
so sour about it as well.
You should make a petition that she's starting in like the men's class because it's kind of unfair.
Okay, why is it unfair?
No. I think it's more interesting. Like, I think she has a good chance to beat Mika there in the 50K.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, I would say that, but I cannot be proven wrong, I guess, because that will not happen.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But one thing, if Johaug does her comeback, it's unreal how it's just the whole doping thing is just off the table. It's like she's been like suspended, or not suspended. She's been like
Yeah, suspended now.
is it suspended for, is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for 2 years, and nobody's talking about it anymore. She comes back, wins with such a big margin. Now, I don't think she's doping. I mean, she was, because otherwise she wouldn't have been suspended. It's just crazy how nobody talks about it. It's
Yeah.
just off the table.
That
It's like
is-
as if it
that
never
is-
happened.
That is true, yeah.
As if it never happened.
I think people believe her story of that it was an accident.
Oh, I don't.
Okay. Why?
Oh, well, because if you put on like lip screen that has a big mark on it that says doping, and you put it on because your doctor said, oh, no, it's safe, then you're either a bit dumb or you're doping.
Yeah, I'm with that actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally think it was an accident because I think she's. Oh, it's always
But-
difficult to know with people, but
It doesn't matter though, because if that is the rule, like everybody has to play with that rule. So you have to.
Come on, you can't tell me that there's a doctor on the team that doesn't know which medicaments are like on the doping list and which one are, because there's
Yeah.
just an app online. You can just go online and Google it and it'll say yes, use it, or no, don't use it. There's no such thing as in between.
no. But I would expect, or like that was the story that the doctor told her yes.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if she just bought it and like didn't think to look at the ingredients and just used it.
Oh, but it wasn't no ingredients, mate. It just had a big sticker on it because she bought it at a pharmacy in Livigno. Or that's her words. It's her words that she
Yeah.
bought it in the pharmacy in Livigno. And if you buy it in the pharmacies in Livigno, you get the things with a sticker on it if it's doping or no doping, because tons of athletes train in Livigno.
Yeah, but anyway, I think maybe no doctors were involved, and then it was just a story. But anyway, nobody
I mean,
will
the case
ever
is
know.
done.
Will-
Yeah, the case is done anyway. But I just
Nobody
think
will ever
I
know.
I think we don't really know enough about it, but still, I think Mika has a point that you should like judge everyone who is like breaking the rule. If you're like, how long she was suspended? 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get suspended 2 years, like you also have to, yeah, judge that.
I mean, I get comments on being Austrian
Yeah, true.
and skiing fast because I'm Austrian. I can't change what fucking Max Hauke did. I can't change what Dominik Baldov did. It's not my fucking mistake.
Yeah.
But I get judged on that still by people. And then, like, the thing with Johan, it's just never happened. It's just like, oh, it's off the table. Whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
I just think that's a bit wild.
Or-
Yeah,
yeah.
double standards. Then.
Yeah, very much double standards.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a good podcast, Jamie.
Yeah.
Getting some controversy in there.
Yeah, but we didn't talk shit all the time, so I think that's normally what the podcast does now.
I mean, going back to Baldov and Hauke, there's no suspicion about innocence there. There's like, it was so obvious that it was like
Yeah, but
clear willing doping.
yeah,
that
mate, but
it's-
is that my mistake?
No, but you're
No, for
you're not
sure.
innocent if you make a mistake. Like if
No,
your
no,
heart said
definitely
it was a
not.
mistake, she
But,
is
like-
not innocent then, because it's still.
Yeah, I'm not saying
forbidden.
that. Yeah, I'm not saying she shouldn't have had a ban. I'm just saying that, like, I believed it was a mistake. Like, okay, we can continue talking about it, but I think I.
Oh, it
believe
was
it
you
a
that
mistake.
wanted to continue to talk about it.
I just.
We stopped talking. We just ended the conversation, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, but like Hauke and these guys, they were just definitely cheating." Yes, they were. They were
Yeah.
fucking pricks, balance idiots.
Yeah, but
and I hope
that's
they
why
never come
people.
back
Yeah,
anymore.
that's why people continue talking about it. And I was just saying that maybe the fact that how people kind of ignored it a bit is because there is the big possibility that it was just an accident. I'm not saying that she is innocent.
I just like I live in Norway,
But
I
I'm
love-
not saying it's fair to say that like all Austrians are dope. That is not what I'm saying. I
No,
agree
I know what
that
you
it's
want to
really
say.
shit for you, but I'm just saying that yeah, it is different. What
But
they-
the only problem that I have with the whole Johaug situation is that like I live in Norway. I love the country. I love the people. It's great. For this time in my life, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. It's just the double standards that kill me. It starts with like, oh, like we're all about green energy and green this and green that, and then they're like the biggest oil and gas exporter from Europe and a big global player in the world, which is fair. But then shut up with those double standards. And then it's the same things in sport. It's I remember Olympics in Beijing when Bolshinov just crushed everybody. Norwegians, they were all over newspaper, like, oh, he can't be clean, like the guy's dope, like definitely, there's just no way he's not dope because he's so much better than our athletes. I think in 4 years back, and then they were referring to like Sochi 2014, which is a shit show. Sochi was a shit show. I don't say anything positive about that ever. But 4 years before, it was Pyongyang, Pyeongchang, when the Norwegians kind of won everything in those Olympics. You didn't hear Norwegian media talk about Russian doping then.
Yeah, for sure. And also when Johaug smashes everyone, nobody talks about doping, even though she has been convicted.
Yeah, and
I can agree on that.
that's the double standards that I hate. It's
Yeah.
like they don't stop talking about it on like Austrian sports. Why do you stop talking about it on Johaug then? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah. Moving on. What's the gossip for this spring? Anything exciting?
Oh, this was the
Happening.
gossip, mate.
This was the gossip.
This was the gossip I wanted to bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation right now.
And he
Like
got.
watching you two guys a bit arguing.
Oh, this was not
Oh,
arguing.
we weren't arguing.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it when we're actually arguing.
Yeah.
But what's give us a bit of like exciting stories. Anything happening? Otherwise, right, while you think of exciting stories,
Oh, William Parma
Well-
wanted to leave Fisher, but he didn't eventually.
where do you want to go? I have a slight suspicion of what brand he would.
The skis were
How you-
red,
Rossignol then.
maybe.
Nah, they're orange Rossignol, right? What's would be your session you would do on one place with two people would be your dream session? Give us your hot take.
One session, one
So-
place, two people.
I actually thought about it, and my answer is like 2015 or something. Season ending in Mika's house. These were the greatest parties ever.
That's not a session though.
Oh, it is a drinking session.
It's a big session.
Okay, yeah.
And who's the two people then?
Yeah, I don't really mind who is there.
Okay. So
So we'll just say, we'll just do, like you started with Remy Lindholm with WhatsApp, and we'll just
Yeah.
end with Remy Lindholm and say Frida Karlsson and Ebb Anderson.
No. I don't know who was there at the time. Like, this is a bit of an insider. Like, just me and Mika understand that now because we actually experienced that party.
We
I
had the
think
best party ever there.
a lot of
Yeah.
people can imagine how it was.
It's quite good.
Yeah, and the nice thing was we were like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, drinking age in Austria is 16, by the way. So
Yeah, no.
Another funny thing. So I was doing ski classics this spring, and it's just ski classic is just about like how much skate you can do in the race without getting caught.
yeah,
Did
talk
you
about Magnus Melas.
Yeah.
What the hell?
She didn't. I think she didn't think she was being filmed.
She did like 8. I actually counted. I think it was like 8 or 9 just skate
Pushes
two
on-
pushes.
Yeah.
Just like in a row, just like
But actually, the best guys in the race, they actually do not skate in the because Jantlope, everything was outside the tracks,
yeah.
and the best guys they actually like jump when they turn. But the guys at the back, they don't give a fuck and they skate like so much. And I'm not gonna lie that I was at the back and I might have been also one of the ones. Like it's just like in the corners when there's tracks, theoretically you should stay in the track, but when you're outside the track, then it's like so easy to like push a little bit. And then what's crazy though is that they kind of like auto-regulate themselves. So if someone at the front is skating, then everybody will like fucking tell him off. So there was like this French lad started skating a little bit, and there was Casper Staros that was like, Eddie, this is not a skate race. You have the classic. It was quite funny. So yeah,
But how did you notice? Like you weren't in the front, mate.
yeah, because at the start it kind of like bunched up. So
yeah.
I
Okay.
managed to navigate to the front. So I was in a pretty decent position at one point.
But
Yeah.
It's not that bad, actually. I think like that's kind of the character of Ski Classic that makes it what it is, you know.
Well, it makes like
Yeah.
double pulling races. That makes it what it is, not skating.
Yeah, but I don't know. They
I
don't
think they
take it too serious. You know?
Oh, I think they do actually. They do, and I think they should. If they want the race to continue being fair, maybe they should do a rule where everyone has to go in the tracks.
Yeah,
Like that would be easy to do. Like do 3 tracks, and then you have to go in the tracks.
Yeah,
Or it's a bit of a shit system because it would be difficult to overtake and
but
stuff.
I think they should actually make the rules a bit tighter, or like make them maybe also like get away from double standards. There is like just like judge everybody the same. Like there's jury and they watch your race and they stand in the stadiums. And I'm not gonna lie, the very few ski classics I did, I was very shy in all of them, and I did skate quite a lot in all of them.
Thomas Bing was telling me like he got a yellow card in the winter, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you were skating," and he was like, "Oh yeah, but everyone is skating," and they were like, "Yeah, but you do it more than the rest." So you're getting a yellow card.
Yeah, and that's just stupid. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's just
double
ridiculous.
standards.
It's like if you see somebody where it's like clear, all right, this is not just doing like a corner technique. This is just like pure skating.
Yeah,
Just fine him. Just give him the yellow card. Disqualify him. Whatever.
yeah.
What do you actually think of the jury decisions that are happened like over the whole season
In World
in
Cup,
World Cup?
Oh, they're so good. They're like so not double standard at all, and they're like so the same for everybody.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's I
sarcasm
actually
out.
think I actually think that a lot of people don't know enough about rules, like coaches and athletes.
Well, but there's
Don't know-
a very clear rule that there's like a time limit in the Tour de Ski, and that everybody has to go fast as fuck in the individual races to
example,
stay
yeah.
in the time limit. And then you're
Yeah.
called Lukas Mrkonjic, and all of a sudden that rule doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah,
When there's like tons of sprinters like Michael Futtinger, Benny Moser, Yannick Riebel, who maybe aren't the best in the world, but they did the effort and managed to come into the finish inside of the time limit. And then you have this guy who's like one of the best skiers on the world, just casually chills, comes into the finish with like 5 minutes back, has like probably 160 an average heart rate on that race. And all of a sudden, the rule doesn't apply anymore.
yeah. I don't think that was the jury decisions that you were referring to. Maybe.
No, I was just asking you because I didn't really like experienced World Cup this year, so
Yeah, I mean,
that's a question for you.
I think the thing that people are mostly complaining about is the verbal warnings, because basically you can get verbal warnings, kind of like the sweet spot where you like cheat a little bit, but not enough to get like a proper penalty. So basically, if you do a little bit of skating and then you get a verbal warning, then you're like, yeah, you've nailed it. But if you do too much skating and you get like a yellow card, then you
But also,
Then you
verbal
fucked
warning is quite often when the LOC fucks up their event a little bit or fucks up the course a little bit. I remember in Goms when they made the corner in the mass start from the downhill, where it was like, I won't say impossible, but kind of impossible to, like, when you're in the field, like in the pack, it was more or less impossible to stay inside the marked track there.
yeah.
And like almost everybody got a verbal warning that left the track, and you're like, well, maybe the corner was just not fitted to
Yeah.
be that way. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what I was realizing watching like sprints on TV? I thought that they are like in sprints in the heat, when something gets a little bit heated, they punish you for racing hard, basically. So
but they only punish you if like stuff happens. Like, look back, like you're talking about your decisions now. I have a good example. When you look at Lahti, second to last World Cup sprint, Benny Moser steps on.
no, he
I wanna
didn't
say
step.
he's-
He just took him out.
Yeah, but he stepped onto like the ski of
Yeah.
of what's it? Was it Marcus Woerela?
I don't. Some Finnish.
It was
guy.
some Finnish guy. Okay, guy crashes, but like, yeah, it's a race. The race just goes on. Next corner, which American guy was it? Was it Kevin Bolger?
I don't know.
I don't know, but there was one US guy that did like we actually looked on the video,
Yeah.
the exact same thing to Benny, with one big difference.
That he didn't
Benny
crash.
Benny is not a balance, and then he can stand on his skis, so he just didn't crash. And then he got ranked as last because he made the Finnish guy crash who couldn't stand on his skis, but like for the exact same action, like also as hard. It's just Benny is a bit better in not crashing. Benny did not, like the other guy didn't get like a verbal warning or a yellow card or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just
And-
they only punish or they only like write yellow cards
If something happens.
if it's happened.
But
Like,
yeah,
after
well,
the
but the thing
crash
is,
happened.
there's in the decision taking graph, there is also like if it impacts the race or not. So like if okay, you're being a bella and then you like touch my skis and nothing happens, like I move out.
Oh well, he lost his
Then-
spot, so it did impact Benny's race.
Well,
When
yeah,
when
okay, yeah.
when American guy came on the inside, it did affect Benny's race very much. He
Okay,
just didn't
yeah.
crash.
Yeah,
Position wise, it probably wouldn't have mattered because then it would be like
yeah. Anyway,
fifth
I
anyway.
I don't know. I didn't see the video, but I mean they have like clear rules, and I think actually a lot of it is just that we don't know the rules well enough, me included.
That's the thing. I think we don't really know the rule book, but I feel like seeing some decisions that the rule book might be like a little bit like in the years, a little bit too old, and you need to like how you say, like
Updated.
update it to actually like create like racing that is actually like interesting to watch, you know.
Yeah,
But it's like I get it that it's a hard thing because you need to punish someone if he takes advantage about like if so advantage, like illegal advantage, that's what I want to say. But at the same time you don't want to punish them too much because you want like hard racing, because
yeah, for
that's
sure, yeah.
exciting to watch.
Talking about hard racing, the best thing ever to see was in Canmore when Lukas Mrkonjic jumped on, I think it was Johan Häggström's skis
Yeah,
in the sprint. And
Oh,
he
he-
clearly just like he was like
Yeah.
20, 30
change direction.
There was 20, 30 centimeters in front of him, so he like there's no way he didn't see the ski tips next to him.
yeah,
Guy just went over there and skied over his skis. Johan Häggström crashes, so it's like a clear rule violation. Guy gets sacked, like gets a yellow card or whatever, ranked as last.
yeah.
Doesn't go through to like the semi or the final, whatever.
Yeah, this was in the semi, so he didn't go through to the final.
And the guy's just absolutely enraged. He was just like going, he like even did like an Instagram post, I feel, about it, that this is just such unfair treatment and shit. And you're just like, made like the only guy that's like really gotten an unfair treatment like in favor and not against was you this year. And then he's bitching about being disqualified for a clear rule violation. Oh, it's quite good fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he probably doesn't know exactly all the rules, and I heard that then it was explained to him like why he got disqualified, and then he was like, okay, yeah. Like he didn't agree with it, but he at least understood the
It's a bit
decision.
wild if he understood the decision to go home and do an Instagram post about
Yeah,
how
but you can still, like-
unfair it is.
You can understand why the decision was taken, but you can
Yeah.
still disagree with it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Oh, you're not so up for slagging off people today, Jimmy.
Nah, I'm in a too relaxed and like end of season sort of state of mind. So I'm not I've got like 8 months to like build a bit like the fire inside me.
Yeah, I get the tension.
But you've got it also, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Right, I think this is a good comeback podcast then, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, quite deep.
Thanks for joining a podcast, Lukas. Looking forward to hearing the sesh you're gonna have with Mika in his house.
We already had
With-
like
Yeah, but
10 years
it's
ago.
yeah, but then if it was like your favorite sesh, then it has to happen again. So
The chances that thing's ever gonna happen again are close to zero because the
Yeah.
apartment was kind of unusable after that.
okay.
And that's a thing that you just do when you're 15, 16,
Yeah.
and then like you grow out of it.
Oh, Mika still hasn't grown out of it though. He's still 15, 16 in his head.
Yeah. That's good. Keeps it young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for joining in. And
To all our listeners, thanks for listening. If you like the show, give us a rating, give us a follow. It helps the show.
and legends, all those who participated in the auction.
Yeah. Hope that you listen to our podcast again.
Yes. Season 2. Here we go. Fuck yeah.